Hello. My name's Nick Gassman. It says that there. Yeah. I was the UX Design and Research Manager at British Airways, which means that my team designed BA.com and the app. I've left BA, so some of this may be second nature to you, in which case fine. But either way, you might want to offer me a job at an outrageous salary. But if anything, if only an interesting conversation comes out of it, that's fine as well. So what is UX? And the point of this is just to say that fintech, like any other industry, needs UX. There's a whole word soup of different roles in UX, but the bottom line is it's about making a digital interface usable and attractive and easy to use for a customer. And don't make the mistake of equating a pretty looking interface with an effective one. So one set of contrasts here. So Bittrex is a cryptocurrency exchange. And if you're marketing to geeks who already know what is going on, then this could well be an effective web homepage. So this is their homepage on their website. And there's a button there that says explore markets, but doesn't explain which markets you're going to explore. And there's something that says sign up, but it doesn't explain what you're signing up for. And there's some gobbledygook on their website that any technologist would love. But if you're trying to appeal to a broader market, then you want something possibly more in line with Kraken, who at least in small text on the homepage do say that they buy and sell and trade Bitcoin, and you can create an account immediately on the page without having to go somewhere else. And there's still some gobbledygook and marketing speak, but it's not quite so geek-oriented. But if we look at Coinbase, that for me is, it hits you straight between the eyes. It says what they do, buy and sell digital currency, and there's a button there that says get started. It's not create an account, it's get started. We buy and sell digital currency. If you want to do that, get started. And their blurb is just straight speaking. So my question is, which one of those three exchanges do you think are most likely to attract the most customers? And it's got nothing to do with who's got the best business model. It's got nothing to do with who's got the best technology behind it. It's all about what's going to work for the customer. So here's an example of, I don't know how you pronounce that, Ipagoo. It's a fintech where you can open a bank account in multiple countries. You've got lots of digital nomads who are moving around different countries working, and they need bank accounts in different countries. And so digital nomad comes here and says, which countries I'm going to be working in these countries. Which countries are you going to let me have an account in? To find out, you have to click on the Apply Now button. And once you've gone there, you have to click on a link that says you're eligible to find out if you're eligible to open a relationship. And once you do that, then you get the list of countries. This has been designed from the point of view of the company, the way the company thinks, not the way that customers think. A brief example from British Airways. This was a test that we did. Usual form where you say where you want to fly from and to. And the original version of this form, where you wanted to fly to, the word to is inside the input box. We moved the word to, so it was above the input box. That made an incremental £7 million revenue a year, making a change that small. And so a good user experience of your digital interface becomes a competitive advantage in its own right. Don't assume that you know what customers want, how they think, what their mental models are, that they don't have any disabilities in the way that they use your interface. Ask them and test. And you need UX experts to help you do that. Thank you.
Very good. Nick, can I just take you back to the Sharewave thing? I just want to understand that. Why is that worth £7 million?
Okay.
You're thinking that too, right? You're all thinking the same thing, aren't you?
Why is it worth £7 million? One of the blog posts I did, when you're filling in a form and you get that, you click on something with the drop down. Quite often, so like which country do you live in? And you click and you get a drop down list of countries. And quite often there'll be something like, please complete, ... in that box. And when you do that, people scan the form for blank fields. And because it says please complete, unconsciously they miss that and go on and press the submit button on the form and get an error message. And that's what was happening here. And it's partly to do with the structure of how the whole thing is laid out and the consistency. So here, the word from is above the from field. So there's no consistency to that structure in the original form. Whereas here, there's that consistency. And you might think, but why would somebody search for a flight and not put in where they're flying to? And that's part of that whole bit about not making assumptions about how people do things, because so much of the way that we use interfaces is completely unconscious and we're not thinking about it. If you have to think about it, then the design is wrong. And this just provided a little extra cue. So what was happening with the left one, people weren't putting in where they wanted to fly to, and they were pressing the button and getting an error message that was a load of gobbledygook, and people going, oh, I can't be bothered with this, I'll go and have a look at EasyJet. And just that subtle difference is what made the 7 million difference.
Very good. Any other questions? Thank you very much, Nick. That's very interesting. Thanks very much. Karthik.